Yes, it's a thing. Every bike should be custom fit to the rider because everybody's body is different. And what they can do is not only can they raise and lower the seat, but they can move the seat forward and back. They can tilt the seat. They can raise the handlebars. They can lower the handlebars. They can do all sorts of things to make sure it's custom fit for your body. And yeah, if you're sitting down, just kind of rock back and forth on your seat a little bit. Yeah, rock back and forth. What you're feeling there are your sit bones. Now, most people's sit bones are 143 millimeters apart. My sit bones are 145 millimeters apart. So that meant, instead of my sit bones being here, my sit bones are out here. And so the saddle is hitting the soft tissue right between the sit bones, and it was very painful. So knowing that when I got my bike fit, I had a 145 millimeter saddle, and all of the pain down there went away. So I think it's just like anything in business and in life, the right fit positions you to succeed. So when you look at how to determine right fit, you can use a double axis chart just like this. So on the north-south axis will be affinities. Affinities like natural talents. You know it's an affinity if you love it. So you love it. And then you have skills on the east-west axis. And it's a skill if you are good at it. And this gives you 4 different zones of being, if you will. If you are in the lower left, where you don't have a natural talent for it, you don't have the skill for it, so you hate it and you're terrible at it, then that's called the dropout zone. Because that's exactly what people do in that situation, is they drop out. Did you know that Beyonce was a high school dropout? I mean, some fabulously successful business leaders, political leaders have been high school and college dropouts. I mean, you can name a whole bunch of them just off the top of your head. It wasn't a great fit for them, and so they got themselves out of a situation that was a bad fit. If you're in the lower right, where you're good at it, but you hate it, you can do the job very well. Some of your employees are in this situation where they're doing the job very well, they're very skilled at it, but they hate it. And what happens is they burn in more energy than they ought to be. And this is called your burnout zone. And this is what happens when one of your top employees comes up to you and says, "Hey boss, here's my 2-week notice. I am smoked, I am exhausted, I need a break." This is what happens when we are in a situation that's just not, it doesn't meet our natural talents. So even though we're really good at it, we're burning more energy, eventually we're going to flame out. Now in the upper left, it's very interesting, is when you love it, but you're not quite good at it yet. So this you can call the cultivate zone. And the key is to develop the skills to exploit your natural talents. Steve Jobs is a great example of this. In the 1980s, he founds Apple, and he's got this vision where he's going to change the world through information technology. And he's got all sorts of folks excited, he's got all sorts of investment, but his people skills, Jobs was so radioactive and so toxic that he's just driving people right out the door. And eventually it got so bad that the board, whom he handpicked from the company he founded, fires him. And Jobs went on to found a couple of different companies, but he learned his lesson. He was never going to be an awesome people person, a Bill Clinton-like people person, but he learned enough so he wasn't radioactive, so he could inspire people to contribute their best. And in so doing, he moved to the upper right, which is your zone of genius. And imagine the impact, both for you personally, for you solo entrepreneurs, and for you business leaders on your business, if you and all of your employees are in their zones of genius. It's a situation where it simply doesn't feel like work, and people are contributing their best to your organization's success, and they're able to do it for the long haul because they're not flaming out.